Well, it was a perfect speech. The tone was perfect. The content was perfect. He then followed it a day or so later with a video to the World Jewish Congress in New York, which was just as good. Look, I think it puts to rest any of these absurd notions that Trump was an anti-Semite or there was anti-Semitism in his regime. That's always been foolish. Look, I'm a liberal Democrat. I did not vote for Trump. I voted for Hillary Clinton. But right from day one, I have been defending the Trump administration against these false charges of anti-Semitism. It's the Democrats who are exploiting the Holocaust and exploiting anti-Semitism to make these charges. It happened with Trump's statements. It happened with Spizer's mistake when he talked about gas or chemicals and didn't mention the gassing of Jews. Those were honest mistakes by very busy people with not a lot of experience in the political crossfires. But to accuse them of Holocaust denial, anti-Semitism, was an abuse of those important terms. And so I'm glad that we can get back to assessing the Trump administration on its merits and put behind us these false charges of anti-Semitism, anti-Judaism, anti-Israel. It's just all political nonsense.
But let me ask you about I'll misuse the term safe space in terms of international diplomacy. It has been a rhetorical article of intent among many conservatives to say the United States Embassy in Israel should be moved to Jerusalem as opposed to having it in Tel Aviv. It appears that Donald Trump is very serious about making that move. He is a guy who has projects and he accomplishes them. Do you expect the American embassy to move to the eternal city of Jerusalem? And what do you believe the effect would be?
I do think it will move during the Trump administration, and it's about time. It should always have been in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is always the capital of Israel, and Israel is the only country the United States doesn't recognize its legitimate capital. So the time is long overdue, but it has to happen in context. And what I'm hoping is that the Trump administration is working diplomatically with the Saudis, the Emirates, the Jordanians, the Egyptians, to come to a resolution that will allow the embassy to move without there being riots and violence. The last thing you want is the embassy move to provoke another intifada or a break of the current subtle relations between Israel, the Emirates, Saudis, the Sunni Arabs who have a common enemy with Iran. So it has to be done in context. I'm hoping it will be done sooner rather than later, but I think the Trump administration was right in not doing it on the first day, peremptorily, without consultation with our allies. But I think the Trump administration can achieve this, and it would be the most appropriate rebuff to the Obama administration's last petty act in office, and that is to allow a UN resolution to go through. It basically says that the Western Wall, the holiest site of Judaism, is illegally occupied territory. Hebrew University, Hadassah Hospital, the Jewish Quarter, all illegally occupied territory. That was the Obama administration's parting message to Israel, to Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the best response to that would be for the United States to make sure that our embassy is where it ought to be in West Jerusalem.